Good morning, guys. Candice and Ali here this morning, and no fun chat out of us today. We're here to have a serious discussion about crossing the boundaries on social media, and it's a bit regretful that we feel the need to make this post.
Yep, and it's a bit disrespectful and quite concerning that a lot of people think just because they have no face, no tangible sort of view of themselves on social media that they think it's appropriate to say and do these things on social media.
Now, as you all know, I shouldn't assume you all know, any of you who followed us for a long time know we are just real Aussie, bit bogan, bit country family. We are...
I mean, sledging's a part of the game. Any good joke in Aussie fun, like, it's all that good jokes, but there's the line in the sand that no one should cross.
So sledging's fine, sarcasm's fine, dry Aussie humour's fine, a bit of shit stirring is fine. If you give it, you are going to get it, but it's all fine. That's fair game.
There's a difference between saying, hey, you effed your mother because you live in Inverell, and saying, calling someone a C word and degrading them based on their looks.
So for those who've been on the page a little bit, noticed that I did a Bicky Dipper rant and that seemed to have kicked off a lot of people. We do have a bit of conflict here and there, but that post in particular seemed to upset a lot of people.
Yeah.
And 90% of the comments that were really across the line, like calling me a stupid bitch, an old cunt, a slag, a slut, shut the fuck up, bitch, that kind of aggression mostly came from men aged 40 to 60.
Who generally have their mothers, their daughters, their sisters, their wives in their profile picture, which is disrespectful and concerning.
Yeah, like the women in your life must be really proud of having a man that speaks like that. But what we really wanted to tie it back to was if a man feels the need and feels able to attack two random women on a social forum that they have never met, and they feel the need and the ability to attack and degrade women, no wonder domestic violence in this country is so rife. They weren't pulled up. No, not many. There were a few other men, and I high-five those men for that.
Again, it's not all men. There are so many good, amazing men who
we
are
are blessed.
Progress. Yeah.
We are blessed with good men in our life.
Yeah.
By that choice, design, or breeding, we are blessed with having good men in our life. But we do not tolerate, and I will not stand for men, grown-ass men with families and children and wives of their own, degrading, belittling, and harassing other women on any forum. Public, private, keyboard, doesn't matter. Yeah. Now, I'm a big girl. I'm actually only 5'6" and 60 kilos, but I'm a big girl, right? And I will stand my ground.
Yeah.
My daughter's a teenager. She's very resilient for her age.
I don't really care. There was a post that said some guy was calling me a cow. I'm like, you know what? I actually do not care.
But I'm going to go to bat for my daughter because that's what mums do, right? Mm. And I would go to bat for anybody's daughter in that situation. And it's a bit of a shame that there was not very many men that pulled that particular man up. And I'm going to put some screenshots up on this post, and I'm going to name and shame a few of you because you need to be called out. And there was a lot of women that posted like the angry face to his comment, but didn't really pull him up for it. So I think as a sisterhood, we need to band together. But as humans, we really need to be stamping this stuff out because it is not it's not good. It's not appropriate. It's not good human behavior.
Yeah. And I'd tie it back as far to say the male loneliness epidemic. If you feel comfortable saying this to random women that you don't know, what do you say to your girlfriends? What do you say to your best mates? If you feel lonely, and that's not because you're rural, remote, so forth. If you feel lonely because you cannot form a genuine human connection, that is not a systematic issue. That is a personality issue. And I'm sick of hearing men complain about all of that stuff, but do not actively take a change, especially to try, yes, we have a huge problem with farmer suicides in this country, but do you see any farmers, the vast majority of farmers, stepping up and saying, we're going to fix this. Rather than going out and drinking at the pub, we're going to go and play golf with our mates. We're going to form genuine connections. Do you hear that? No.
It's it was really astounding and not surprising, unfortunately. But I really just want to say that if any man in your life can randomly attack women on the internet from behind their keyboard in what they feel is safe environment, then you really need to question the choices of having that man in your life.
Yeah.
I feel. Also, the keyboard warrior thing, mate. Look, I'm probably not the best person to say, because I will type shit on the internet. I will give it to you.
Yeah.
But anyone who's known me for more than about 3 minutes will know that I will gladly say the exact same things to your face. I will not hide behind a keyboard. No. And you know, there's lots of people walking around that can probably vouch for the crazy bitch that's given them a taste of their mind, because I stand my ground with men or women that are bullshit. I'll just call bullshit, and I have no problem with that. So keyboard warrior, hiding behind your
rage baiting, pretending just be like saying things, oh, this is just rage bait, you took the joke, you took the rage bait. It's not appropriate. Do not make jokes and do not attempt to get people raging over any issue of topic. I see it so many times on TikTok. People get rage bait because of sexual assault, because of domestic violence. It is not appropriate. You need to stop and reevaluate your life, especially if you're a 40-year-old man. You should be working. You should not be complaining and throwing a tantrum online because someone said an opinion that you don't agree with.
And back to the whole post that started it, Bicky dippers. I get lots of questions, right? People who travel and are probably in my age bracket, I feel they get it. Now, Bicky dippers is not a particular age group.
No.
It is a mindset.
Yes.
It's an entitled, I can tip my sewage canister in the bush. I earned it. I can let my dog shit on your side. I'm retired. I earned it.
And I feel like for anyone who's ever worked a customer service role, you know, it's always the people who've come in who they're generally retired. They've spent their whole life working, paying tax, paying tax, and now believe that they are entitled to the whole world. You're not. You're a human. Treat people with decency and respect.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the people that I've just said do come under a certain demographic. Not always. Probably stereotyping a little bit.
There's a few people around mum's age, especially women, I feel like, who get the more passive-aggressive side of it.
But I'm going to say like 95% of the people in caravan parks in particular that we have problems with, dogs running over your stuff because they can't drive but won't ask for help. And I mean, my husband's a truck driver. He will gladly hop in and park your van first go for you. You ask for help, we will gladly do it. Yeah. I've backed horse floats all my life. I could probably help you. You know, like...
And that's not to say we don't have really genuine, nice conversations. Like, I was walking back from school the other day to the caravan park. There was this boomer lady who offered me her bag because I didn't have enough room for the stuff that I bought. But, you know...
we do meet nice people.
Yeah, and it's not saying this whole group is awful. We're just
I'm not saying everyone born between 54 and 63 or whatever the years are horrible people.
But it is proportionately higher in that demographic.
It is proportionately higher. And if you don't want to be in the stereotype, don't act like the stereotype. Be better than the stereotype if you don't want to be labelled with it.
Yeah.
Now, as we said from the start, this page is all about travel, but mostly it's our take on travel and our life and our motivation to live in the bars. You don't have to tune in. You can just scroll on by. I'm glad to have you if you are there. Like, thumbs up, great. But we are a little bit shit stirry. We are a little bit bogan. We are a little bit country. We are very dry humid. We just say whatever we're feeling.
Yeah.
And that is the appeal. As we say on the podcast, we are always real, rarely on topic. But we are always real.
Yeah.
And it's just our opinion. You don't have to agree. If I say, the other day, didn't like Roma. Holy cow, you'd think the world would have exploded because I didn't like Roma. That's okay. Yeah. I didn't like Roma.
And I feel like it's the appropriateness of saying just scroll on, click not interested. And Mum and I will always have a conversation with someone. If you come really nice and polite and just say, hey, I disagree, but can you tell me why? Absolutely, we'll have a nice conversation. It's just how you present that opening line.
Yeah, it's the energy that you come at me with that I'm going to give you back. And that's something I've worked over really hard for a long time in my life, because I'm naturally pretty feisty, if you haven't figured that out already.
I think there's a bit of feisty in here if anyone's seen my rant about the off-leash dogs.
But yeah, you know, you come at me with, I meet great people in caravan parks. We have great neighbours at the moment who fall into the boomer category. I've just been down there chatting to them about the dogs and managing caravan parks and things on my walk. So it's not everybody. But if you don't want to be in the stereotype, don't act like the stereotype.
And it's the same way that we can say with the stereotypes, people travelling with lots of young kids, yes, they're going to be very noisy, very loud, very disruptive. The kids do run through our site, but again, stereotype.
Yeah, or like, I get it, how much Centrelink do you guys get? Because they think we're a travelling family, we must be unemployed bums on the dole. No. But if anyone follows the page, sees our budget, and we actually make some bank.
Yeah.
So, but that's a stereotype for my generation. They think I'm an unemployed dole bludgeon nomad floating around in my beat up old bus.
And they think for me that I'm uneducated, unable to form an opinion, and I'm just going to roll over, and that I'm easily triggered and offended. No, I'm not, mate. You can call me whatever name you want under the sun. I do not care.
Because you know what, name calling is actually more of a reflection
on them
than it is on the person. Yeah. And so I guess we'll wrap up because we've been at 11 minutes already. Holy crap.
I do think we need to put out a video of, like, Mum should start stitching the comments and just being like, just rating the rage bait, you know, get a bit more money off it.
Well, I always also post dickhead of the day.
Yeah.
Which is good because that always gets a whole heap of comment going, which Facebook pays me for. Oh. So, you know, that's always a nice way to make some money out of a dickhead.
Yeah, and it's like, thank you so much to everyone who insults us, because it's like, give us that money.
I know. At least if you're going to insult me, I can take it away knowing that Facebook's going to pay me for your comment. So that's always a nice, that's like helps you get through the day when we have a day like we did the other day. But I just wanted to say thank you to all the guys and girls on our page who follow, who get our humour, who gives us a love and a thumbs up from time to time and a comment.
The ones of us who come at us with the exact same Aussie humour and we'll have a little giggle to ourselves. And
we read the comment to each other and we write a little comment back and we have a hee about it. Love you guys. Yeah. Keep on coming. Keep it real. Keep it Aussie. But the ones that come with the shut the fuck up, stupid cunt, slag, bitch.
The one that you had the other day who thought that your photos that you'd stolen, like, at least if you're going to insult someone, take the time to, like, be creative about it. Like,
yeah, you know, so I actually got reported to Facebook jail for using stolen stock photography on my travel page. But guess who owns the stock photography? They were my photos. And yes, they are available for purchase on stock. But this guy dedicated like hours scrolling through stock to find the link to my page where I'd stolen it from. Like, where do people get the time for this and the anger to fuel this motivation? I just don't get it. I mean, what's going on in your life? There's got to be big questions asked there, I think. Like, what is motivating you to take hours of your day fueled with rage to try to cut somebody down?
It's like Red Bull gives you wings, but Red Bull gives you rage.
I don't know what gives them rage. I could probably make a stereotype that the Facebook could blow up on about that, but I won't do that because we are in trouble for doing things like that, apparently. But thank you, guys. Thank you to everyone who's listened through this. I just want to give a big thumbs up to all the amazing men in our lives and the men across this country doing things right and sticking up for the women and the women sticking up for women. And supporting
the men sticking up for, you know, especially as I mentioned before, farmers, you know, every disadvantaged group. Like, thank you so much.
Yeah. Build a community. Life's too short for all this anger and bullshit. Just scroll by. If you don't like me, click that little X on the top of my post. You'll never see me again and scroll by.
Even if you get fed up with her that much, just block her.
Just block me. It's easy. There's a little cross and you can even report me to Facebook if you like. But just don't invest all your time and effort in causing petty drama and hate.
And you can do so much better with that and so much better for your community. So.
And you could actually be a nice person maybe if you like did a bit of yoga every day or something. I don't know. But thanks, guys. We really need to sign off. This has turned into a 15-minute rant. It was supposed to be a 1-minute reel to say pull your head in. Love you guys.